You know, looking at this photo of this girl here, I was just wondering whether it was a wise step for it to put a false eye back in a socket. Because on reflection, if she does take it out again, it might be an improvement. Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now for this video, I'd like to review a special edition of a Blu-ray that I watched just last night. Now the movie is from 2002. It's a kind of an American psychological movie. It stars Angela Bassett as the titular character, May, and it also stars Jeremy Sisto and James Duval. And yes, as I say, the movie is called May. Now, I'd say this is a special edition. It's got the thick booklet with it and a welcome special features there, guys. Yeah, quite pricey too, actually. Yeah, $29.99. So I'm beginning to regret I forked out that much for it. Yeah, but more on that later. All right then, guys. So as per usual, before I say anything further about this movie and give you my thoughts on the storyline as a whole, I'll just read you the blurb at the back, the synopsis, as short as it is, just to give you some idea if you're not familiar with this edition. Yeah. So it's May from 2002. May, a socially awkward veterinary assistant with a lazy eye and an obsession with perfection, descends into depravity after developing a crush on a boy with perfect hands. So that's the story in a nutshell, guys, yeah? So there's the special features there, guys. I won't read them out. You just freeze your cameras and take those in. Yeah, plenty to pick there and watch and listen to. And there's the, I'll just show you the... briefly the booklets. There's the booklets all about the movie, and you get your art cards as well. There's the disc. There's actually released a standard edition of this as well. So that's the disc, and then you got your art cards as well. Yeah. All right then, guys. So without further ado, I'll just tell you a little bit more about what I thought of the movie as a whole. Right, you most probably got an idea of what I'm going to say, and it ain't going to be nice. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, guys, I didn't like this movie at all. You know, in fact, I absolutely hated it. I thought it was a complete and utter pile of junk. The story was slow and boring. I didn't like the character of May. In fact, I didn't like any of the bloody characters in this movie. It wasn't scary. It was just basically it was just one big joke. You know. It was a strange kind of movie as well. It didn't seem to have any any real substance or direction. You know, it was all over the place basically. And very and what I found really annoying about this, guys. A lot of people said it had this sort of like aspects of Frankenstein to it. Oh, I don't think so. The only real nod to Frankenstein was at the very end, where something happens. I won't tell you what that was. You know what happened in that. But oh yeah, no relation at all to Frankenstein, in my opinion. You know, so I think they had a bloody cheek equating this with Frankenstein. You know, so any Frankenstein fan who's there, that they most probably might be Fox, like I was Fox, and buy it and that. You know, so yeah, very scant Frankenstein stuff in here, guys. Yeah. Also, guys, I must warn you, there's two very unsavoury scenes in this movie. Firstly, there's a horrible act of animal cruelty, which I won't go into because it was just sickening. And secondly, there's a scene involving young blind children being cut and bloodied from the smashed glass of a doll case. The doll which May was given to by her mother, you know, to sort of like compensate for a social awkwardness and you know an ability to make friends. You know, she's got this doll which she's kept in this case for years and that. Yeah, so two very unpalatable scenes there. So be warned. You know, they could have cut those scenes out completely. You know. Now, I say the doll's called Susie, and as I say, it was given to me by her mother. You know, to kind of compensate. You know, as I say, you know, for social awkwardness and that. You know, and May's the kind of person, she's constantly longing for people to accept her. You know, but all they do is just reject her all the time. Reject, reject, reject. So in the end, this rejection has very, very dire consequences. You know, both for me and for the people around there. But I won't give away too much of the story. I'll just sort of like skim the surface, as it were. You know, she's got this guy, like this young man who she's absolutely bonkers about. Well, let's face it, she's a pretty bonkers person, as May. You know, and absolutely mad on him and that, you know, really mad on him. She's like, she got it really bad for him, you know. And there's one very weird scene in this, guys, where they go. I think they go back to Adam. That's the name of the guy, Adam. They go back to his pad, and he puts the student film on, made in black and white, 16mm, and it's about this couple. Like, they start off making love and that, and then he suddenly turn into bloodthirsty cannibals and that, you know. And that's sort of like reflected. That's sort of like mirrored in May's behaviour involving drawing blood, you know, when they're kissing. But again, I won't say too much about that. I'll let you see the movie yourself if you do want to check it out. Yeah, oh yeah, I was very disappointed with this movie, guys. You know, it really was. Yeah. May is described as the homicidal manifestation of social awkwardness. Well, I suppose that would be a fair assertion. Only trouble is that homicidal streak in May's character is not really given any vents until the very end of the movie. You know, nothing for most of the movie, 95% of the movie, sweet FA happens. You know, to be brutally honest, you know, a lot of talking in it and that, you know, and very slow scenes and that, and the way she's a real screwball. This May, you know, she's a real screwball. A lot of people have compared this to Carrie. It's nowhere near as good as Carrie, guys. Nowhere near as good as Carrie. You know, it's just a pile of junk, as I said. You know, at the beginning of the video, you know, I won't be revisiting it, you know, so I've thrown it on eBay already, you know, but yeah, very, very disappointed with this. Yeah, I found myself, I'm quite surprised actually that I stayed awake right to the end. You know, there's so many boring scenes in it, so many weird scenes in it and that, you know, and it was very irritating and that, you know. She also comes into contact with this girl. She's a kind of a lesbian and that, you know, so that's a bit weird as well, you know. Yeah, so that could have been left out the movie, you know. But oh yeah, she's a real loner, this May, you know, and she's a real bonkers girl, you know, and all she wants is it to be accepted by people and that, you know, and it's just not happening for her. So she basically just goes off she goes off a top really at the end and that, you know. So yeah, very, very, very slow burner and that, you know. Yeah, the storyline of the movie was as lazy as May's lazy eye. She's got this lazy eye and that, you know, which again is another hindrance to her sort of like being accepted by people. You know, a big physical imperfection. It really contributes miserably to May's social growth and acceptance and that. You know, so that's another thing going against her, a lazy eye. You know, it's just weird as well the way the movie opens and that. The movie opens with her screaming her head up. She's holding a line like that, going ah. You know, I mean, bloody hell. You think she just had something put on her eye, like something sharp and that, you know, just starts off and screaming, ah, oh, bloody hell, you know. Oh, you think it's going to be a good movie, like, you know, but it just soon descends into one pile of poo, guys. This movie, it's absolute pants. It really is absolute pants, and I regret every single penny I laid out at the weekend in HMV for buying this load of rubbish, you know. But you know, I've said it before and I've said it again. That is just my opinion. I'm not trying to put anybody off. If you want to go ahead and buy it, if you want to just try the standard edition out. I tried to rent this actually on Prime and it was nowhere to be seen for some reason. So that would have saved me a few bob, you know. But yeah, so I'm going to be very, very careful next time, guys. See, my trouble is I've got a weakness for being attracted by nice aesthetics and that, you know. That's what my mum said to me. That's, you know, you shouldn't be, you know, be attracted, be so quick to buy just because of all the extras and that and the booklets and that. And, you know, you want to think carefully before you lay out that amount of money, you know, for a movie, what, you know, usually turns out to be a load of pants, you know. So, oh, sorry, things wrong with this movie, guys. Very boring. Even the colour was drab, you know. I'd say nothing much happened in that, you know. And it starts off as a kind of eccentric comedy and ends in a kind of weird horror scenario. But honestly, guys, The horror was very, very scant, and it was hardly worth waiting for, to be quite honest with you. I hated this. The dialogue was goofy, and the characters themselves were goofy, to say the least. And this movie, as I say, the movie, a lot of people compared it to Carrie, but nowhere near like Carrie. Carrie was a masterpiece. This is definitely not a masterpiece. And it's only fit for throwing in a dustbin. Sorry, guys. No, I threw it on eBay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll say some people have described this movie as a kind of well, when women get rejected and that, it's sort of like it's a kind of a soulless nod to rejected women who they become really fed up with getting rejected, and snubbed and that by men. They sort of like take things into their own hands. They basically fight back in a very, very extreme way, if you like, and not much blood and gore in either, guys. Very, very minimal blood. And but I say beware of those two scenes what I just mentioned before. They could have been excised from the movie, in my opinion. Yeah. So really disappointed with May, and but as I say, it's just my opinion. If you want to try it out yourselves, go ahead and buy it, see what you think. But I didn't like it. It's not for me. Despite the pretty packaging and that, all the glitters is not gold. It's proved time and time again when you blind buy these movies, But yeah, so there you go. What can you do? All right then, guys, on to a rating now for me. I'm going to be brutal, guys. I'm going to give it a big fat 0 because that's how much I hated this movie. There was nothing about it I was bored out of me skull watching it. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the goofy dialogue. I didn't like this stupid emphasis on, May's sort of like weird behaviour, amongst men and that, and she just wasn't a very likeable character and not a very interesting character, and as I say, like, you can be foxed by these sorts of like jazzy looking covers, so yeah, and yeah, bloody $29.99 I paid out for this. As I say, I begrudge every bloody penny, but yeah, so as I say, there you go. Yeah, I said I thought that scene where May and Adam are watching that short, say, a student movie, where the woman bites her boyfriend's finger off as the foreplay becomes a cannibalistic make-out session was really, really ridiculous, and that, and what happened in the house, shortly after, as May and Adam are watching the movie and that, just ridiculous, guys. It really was, yeah. So, yeah. But as I say, it's got nice packaging and that, and if you like the extras and that, you've got plenty of extras there. You've got the book and you've got the art cards and that, but it wasn't for me, guys. Yeah. All right then, guys, I'll conclude the video now. Have you seen May by any chance? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd be very interested, to hear what you thought of it. But yeah, I mean, like, nowhere, as I say, Frankenstein, me backside, Carrie, me backside. I could say some stronger words, but I don't swear in the same on this channel. But yeah, just a pile of pants, guys, and that, and many a person, I can imagine, could be easily led, fooled, foxed into thinking they're going to buy a good movie, but it just completely turned out to be a load of blooming junk. So there you go, guys, that's it. Okay, I'll love yous and leave yous now. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Take care. I'll be back again very, very soon with another video. Oh, and a word of warning. Beware of strange women with strange eyes. See ya. What do you think of the movie so far then, Al? Rubbish!